Namaste. Moving on to one of the powerful backbending asana, Bhujangasana or Cobra pose. As you already know, Bhujangasana breathing, which prepares the mobility of the body, the Bhujangasana will stabilize that. This practice prepares all your back bending from here. And let us explore the technique. From Shashankasana, slowly stretch your hands straight ahead, extend your trunk, and smoothly come front and lie down on your belly. Chin down on the mat, place the hands on and either side of your chest, fingers well spread. Inhale, slightly engage the perineum and lift your upper body, look up, forward. Legs should be together and active with the toes and heels touching each other. Hold for around 45 to 60 seconds. Exhale and slowly go down. Now interlock your fingers behind your back. Roll your shoulder. As you inhale, slightly engage your perineum and lift the upper body and look forward. The legs remain straight on the floor, toes remain pointed back. Make sure there is no stress on your neck or shoulder. Hold for 45 to 60 seconds. Exhale and slowly come down. In the Bhujangasana, there is placement of the hands is one of the key things. But many conditions we just place the hands in an awkward position, sometimes it is too front or sometimes too back. So remember, sometimes doing this itself the elbow goes out, then the pressure develops on the shoulder and also the outer elbow. I do not know anyone heard about it, it is called tennis elbow. By overusing this strength can be developed the pressure on the elbow. So make sure it is the closest possible and the palms next to the chest, the one approximately next to your nipple of the breast. After placing that, the lifting become much smoother. If you take into the lower part now, whenever we try to raise, there is the toes become dead, the legs become loose, but both these create the pressure on the lumbar. To avoid the lumbar pressure, make sure the toes as close as possible and engage the pelvic floor. As soon as you engage the pelvic floor, the legs becomes active and the toes become pointed and pelvic engaged, the pressure from the lumbar naturally disappears and also gives a good support to the upper back to raise really high. If you are moving upper part, whenever you raise, there is a chance of tensing this. What we do? Lock the elbows, tense the shoulders and drop the head. To avoid this, first bend the elbows. As soon as you bend the elbows, shoulder rolls out and which is releases the major stress from the neck, lower back, elbows and wrist. And by then, the leg lift up and you can start looking front. Even this condition, you can even lift the hands off the floor and which is prepared for the next asana there, where we are taking the hands slowly behind the back. Whenever doing it behind the back, remember, sometimes we are trying to raise too high or too low, but try to keep in between and start expanding the chest, that all the stress from the lumbar it disappears and switches into the entire back, and there is a very strong support given by your legs by engaging the pelvic floor. By this, your asana becomes so smooth and prepared for all the other advanced back bending asanas through this. One should avoid Bhujangasana in case of hernia, recent abdomen surgery at least first 3 to 6 months, during pregnancy, and during the menstruation. We should avoid this for first 3 days. And if you look into Bhujangasana variations, see, as you already know, Bhujangasana breathing, Bhujangasana A, and when it is comfortable in Bhujangasana A, we have to develop to the next one called Bhujangasana B, where you just take your hands behind your head. When that is also comfortable and easy, then the next intensifying of this happens is called Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Taking the hands just like a Bhujangasana breathing and lifting from there to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana and rolling the shoulder. This intensifies your stretch. By doing all these things, there is a much more challenging Bhujangasana comes in future. The benefits of Bhujangasana are many. After preparing well with your Bhujangasana breathing, it works wonderfully. If you straight away get into the Bhujangasana, there are chance of cramps, sometimes pains possible, but with the good combination of Bhujangasana breathing, that not takes place, which releases all the rigidness out initial stage and makes the asana more beneficial. If you look into the depth of the benefits, one of the powerful asana to keep your legs stronger and lighter, and releases the rigidness and the weakness of the feet, including people get the cramps in the calf muscles, feet and thigh can easily disappear in a regular practice of Bhujangasana. And also when you are looking ahead, it is one of the strong asana to build the work around the waist and releases any excess fat around the waist to reduces, at the same time strengthen the waist really strong. Then if you look into the other strong work it does is on the belly and reproductive system. As we are resting on the legs and lower abdomen region and pelvic region, it is one of the active work to release the reproductive related problems, including impotency. And not during the menstruation, the rest of the days during the month when practiced, there is also one of the strong work to release menstruation related issues. And as you go and arch your back higher and higher, which gives a great expansion to the chest, which strongly release the emotions or depressions or anxieties, and also arching back so much it prevents the chance of getting hunchback, and also if you have any hunchback it is overcome by a consistent and regular practice. And working further, there are different variation we approach, each of them makes your asana more challenging. If you are taking up the more challenging, the more stronger your spine and back muscles, and more than that it is one of the powerful work for the emotions and fear. As this asana represents the wisdom, that is why one of the powerful asana. Keep up a regular and consistent practice, gradually develop your challenge. All the best, good luck, Dhanyavad.